Traditional philanthropic models suffer from a fundamental structural limitation. They rely almost exclusively on extracting liquid cash from donors. Asking someone to open their wallet creates immediate financial and psychological friction. When generosity is directly tied to disposable income, the scale of a fundraising campaign is strictly capped by what people feel they can afford to part with in the moment. There is also a secondary point of friction. The digital infrastructure used to collect these funds, traditional fundraising platforms, extracts a heavy tax on that generosity just to process the transactions. This chart shows the platform fee column for traditional intermediaries. Services like GoFundMe and CrowdRise drain 5 to 7% of donated capital. To solve for this, iWorld Fundraising established a zero-fee baseline guarantee, ensuring every dollar reaches the recipient. Eliminating platform fees stops the financial leakage, but it is only the first step. The model must still overcome the core bottleneck of demanding donor cash. To truly scale charitable impact, we need a mechanism that eliminates both the donor's cash requirement and the operational platform fees. The alternative to asking for cash is activating the value already sitting in a donor's home. Instead of disposable income, we target dormant assets, specifically the high-value sports clothing and footwear sitting unused in closets and storage rooms. Rusty's Shopping Services functions as a specialized value extraction and distribution engine for the circular economy. This represents a core strategic shift, taking physical goods, monetizing them on global marketplaces, and routing that liquid capital to fund zero-fee charitable impact. Rusty's utilizes a rigorous third-party logistics infrastructure to facilitate this, managing the complete life cycle of each item, from intake and evaluation to multi-platform listing and global fulfillment. While world-class infrastructure is critical, it creates an operational tension. Logistics alone cannot independently acquire the donors needed to feed the system. To hit the year-one goal of $100,000, Rusty's requires a systematic, repeatable acquisition engine to bring those physical assets in. Scaling a physical goods model of this magnitude requires mapping a rigorous direct response marketing framework onto Rusty's logistics infrastructure. Effective business enterprise is built on the foundational relationship between two basic functions, innovation and marketing. Management theorist Peter Drucker advocated for a philosophical shift away from the ineffective busyness of smiling and dialing. Drucker established that the true aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product fits them and sells itself. We achieve this through the AIDA framework, an operational architecture that guides the donor through the stages of attention, interest, desire, and action. In the first stage, attention, earning relevance requires targeting a problem the buyer already recognizes, rather than broadcasting back-end logistics features. As this infographic shows, the key realization for the donor is that they can fund the hospital simply by transforming dormant assets, like the unused items in their closet, into charitable impact. Attention is captured by proving to the donor that they already possess the assets required to make a profound philanthropic impact. Once we have attention, we transition to interest. This means moving from the recognized problem of idle goods to the unique mechanism that solves it. We generate this interest by focusing entirely on the donor's personal gratification and impact, rather than the features of our logistics software. The mechanism that builds this interest is the zero-fee fundraising promise. Because Rusty's absorbs the complex physical logistics of the resale process, traditional platform fees are entirely eliminated. This absorption ensures that 100% of the charity net proceeds are successfully routed directly to Children's Hospital. Interest is secured when the donor realizes they can fund the hospital without opening their wallet or paying for platform overhead. The desire stage is the proactive process of dismantling a donor's inherent barriers to participation. For physical asset donation, the primary barrier is the perceived complexity of boxing, pricing, and shipping items. This infographic outlines how a fully managed resale lifecycle directly neutralizes that psychological barrier. The infrastructure handles every complex step on behalf of the donor: intake, evaluation, professional pricing, multi-platform listing, and global fulfillment. By providing a fully managed end-to-end solution, Rusty's reduces the donor's operational effort to zero, thereby maximizing their desire to participate. Aroused desire will quickly dissipate without a precise, frictionless roadmap for action. Vague marketing asks, like, support us today, create hesitation and kill conversion because they fail to define the next commitment. The action stage requires a named offer with a specific, risk-free next step. The Clean Your Closet for Kids initiative serves as this precise vehicle for participation. This final phase works because the commitment is immediate, requires no financial outlay, and is inextricably bound to a specific charitable outcome. When abstract strategy locks into place with physical logistics, it creates a scalable engine for massive forward momentum. AIDA is the governing logic for identifying a donor, proving undeniable value, and removing the friction that prevents them from acting. In this system, the marketing framework and the supply chain function as a single continuous process. This is the core strategic advantage, combining rigorous direct response marketing with high-efficiency third-party logistics. This integrated system replaces the high-friction traditional donation ask with a seamless value activation sequence. This chart highlights the $100,000 goal this engine is built to achieve. Success will be measured by hitting that charitable target through the repeated execution of this frictionless action step at scale. By managing the end-to-end resale of upscale sports apparel, Rusty's establishes a reliable mechanism for scaling generosity. When a clear direct response strategy aligns perfectly with seamless physical logistics, the charitable system ultimately becomes an engine that sells itself.